July 1st, 2025 marks major changes to the home care package funding scheme. Optimisation, fund delegation, wellness and reablement cloud the tragedy of budget cuts in Australian aged care funding. The governing body is losing sight of client-centred care to favour the bottom line. These changes may impact the income of many sole-trading allied health colleagues, yet the biggest stakeholder that will suffer are our Australia's older community. 3 changes that bug me a lot. Section 9.3. Providers set prices and prices charged. Quote, providers will not be able to charge participants separate administration fees, travel fees, or claim for these expenses under care management activities. All costs to deliver the service must be included in the unit price. Report writing, travelling for a home visit, research for individualised approach, all contribute to client-centred care. However, as of July 1st, 2026, providers will no longer be able to charge participants for this additional work. The expectation that a report, transport, and face-to-face contact can be completed in a single hour period highlights the lack of insight from Australian policy makers. All clients' requirements are different. Lives in rural, regional, and metropolitan areas of Australia, and therefore each case demands a varied amount of time. A duration that is outside the single period that we can charge for a unit price. The outcome leads to a generalised intervention for every individual and poor allied health access for those living afar. This will likely create a gap in healthcare provided versus healthcare needed. Section 8.7.1. Carryover of unspent quarterly funds. When a participant has unspent budget at the end of a quarter, the funds will be automatically carried over in their home support account to the next quarterly budget period. The carryover amount is capped and will be up to the higher value of a capped amount of $1,000 or 10% of their quarterly budget. 12.3.1 Assistive technology, home modifications, funding periods and caps. Quote, funding for high-tier home modifications will be capped at $15,000 per lifetime. Home modifications are vital interventions that can be life-changing for MyAgedCare clients. However, the new funding model will no longer allow older Australians to accumulate their packages to afford large modification projects. Nonetheless, saving funds are now redundant because the allowed amount to spend on modifications are capped at $15,000 per lifetime. Modifications for bathrooms and access ways are high, personally seeing costs well over the amount of $15,000, sometimes reaching $50,000 to $100,000, respectively. Each modification plan is curated to a client's functional needs and safety. The price cap now encourages clients and providers to explore not necessarily the safest, but cheapest option, which will impact the quality of interventions. Unfortunately, access to a safer and more functional home is now becoming ever more challenging. As a hospital occupational therapist, my line of work will not be immediately impacted. However, I can foresee how this could impact the public health system. Higher risk home environment will likely cause more hospital admissions for preventable reasons, such as falls. Difficulty to access community-based allied health will likely cause more social admissions due to inability to cope independently. Older Australians will no longer be able to stay at home, forced to await bed availability at aged care facilities in a hospital bed. For a system designed to keep older Australians living at home, now chooses improvements in the bottom line over its people. This short essay only aims to provide an insight into the upcoming changes to the Australian MyAgedCare funding scheme and to spark conversation on how to better manage our system. Goodbye.